tutorial on how to cut an elastic waist straight or pencil trouser. So for that, I'm going to be using this fabric here. The pant is not going to be up to the ankle. It's just like almost like a jump up. It's not like up to your ankle. So the length I'm working with here is 37. I'm going to add 2 inches for folding the edge, so that's about 39. I'm going to mark that here. So mark the length of my pant. Guys, the width of the fabric now is going to be your hip measurement divided by 4 plus like extra 3 inches, right? Your hip measurement divided by 4 plus extra 3 inches is what you're going to have here. So what I'm going to do next is just to mark from my waist of the pant to your waist to your crotch length. So I'm going to mark that. For me, that's about almost 12 inches. I'm going to mark that now. And then you're going to also insert your waist to your hip. So for me, that's about 10 inches. I'm going to mark that also. And then on this line, hip measurement divided by 4. So I'm going to insert that here. For me, that's going to be about, the hip I'm working with is 47.5 divided by 4 is almost 12 inches. That's 11.9 somewhere here. So that's almost 12 on the dot. I'm going to mark that here. And then now what you can do is on this part on your crotch line, you can insert your thigh measurement divided by 2. So you can check the uppermost part of your thigh, divide it by 2, and then insert it here on your crotch line. This is going to be the mark for your crotch. So how you're going to mark your crotch curve. So the thigh measurement I'm working with is about 29. The uppermost part divided by 2 is going to be 14.5. So on this line, I'm going to insert 14.5 here. And just like that, you're going to give it a curve this way. So this is how you're going to get your curve. Remember, this is our crotch, this is our hip, our waist to hip, our waist to crotch. On this hip line, you inserted your hip measurement divided by 4 on here. On the crotch line, you divided your thigh by the uppermost part of your thigh by 2, and then you inserted that here. Another thing you can do to get this measurement that you will need here is you can just go ahead and divide your hip measurement by that hip measurement that you put here. For me, that was 12 inches. I can also divide it again by another 4. Divide it by 4, whatever you get. For me, like I had 12 here, if I divide it by 4 again, I'll have 3. So 3 inches is the extension I'll use here. It depends on you. So now I'm going to just go ahead and take this same hip measurement that I have here and take it up to the waist, because this is our waistline. I'm going to insert it here, and then I'm going to mark a straight line connecting these two. So guys, after that, now we are going to go ahead and insert the waist to your knee. So for me, the waist to knee across. So guys, I've marked the line. First is my waist to my knee, and then the waist to the length of the pants, and then this is the seam allowance to fold the end of the pants. So now what we have to do is on this line here, which is my waist to my knee, all I have to do is I'm going to find halfway through this my crotch line, which is about 15 inches almost here. I'm going to divide it by 2. So half of 15 is going to be 7.5. I'm going to mark 7.5 here. And then I'm also going to mark 7.5 down here, just to find the middle of my pants, right? I'm going to mark 7.5 here. I'm marking it from this part here, from this part here. So that's how I mark. So guys, round my ankle is 20 inches. I'm going to divide that by 2, and then I'm going to have 10. That 10, I'm going to fold it like this and find half of it, which is 5. So I'm going to place that 5 mark here on this same line that I drew here, and mark half of it here and then half of it here, right? So now I'm going to bring it down to this part here, which is my ankle. My ankle is 13 divided by 2. That is going to be I'm just going to make it 14. I don't want to use 13. If I divide it by 13, I'm going to do 6.5. I'm going to just add 1 inch to it, because like I said, I don't want it 2 pence, because this is like a work, just a simple casual work pant. So I'm going to make it 14. 14 divided by 2, that's going to be 7. So that 7 now, I'm going to fold it again. Divide the 7 into 2. So I'm going to have about 3.5. And then I'm going to mark the 3.5 to be at the center, and mark half of it on this end, and then the other half of it on this end. So that's basically it now. So all I have to do is just to connect from my waist, this crotch line to this point here, and this point here to this side. Connect the crotch on this one to this here, and then from here to the end of the pant. So guys, this is basically the front of my pant. So using this panel, I'm going to mark the back of my pant. And like you see, I've not added any seam allowance or anything here. I didn't change the waist because this here is going to have elastic at the waist. So I'm leaving the waist like this. The elastic is what is going to gather it. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut this whole thing out. So guys, this is it here. When you go to fold the end, you have to fold it this way, so that way you can get the whole parts of because you're going to still fold this in. So you want the end of this fabric to be the same size as this. If not, you have shortage of fabric. So fold it once you get to this part here, bend it this way, and then cut out this end. So that's basically it for the front panel. So now we'll move over to the back panel. So guys, now you see what I did here. I'm going to extend the crotch by about 3 inches or 2.5, depending on you. If you're more on the small size, you can use 2.5. And then the next thing you're going to do, now we're going to add our seam allowance. So I'm going to be adding 2 inches at the back of this pant here, 2 inches from distance of the front to this part. I'm going to be adding that. And then after that, I'm going to connect it this way. This is now my back crotch. And then after that, now you're going to also measure what you have at the crotch in front here. So for me, that's almost about 2.5 or almost 3 inches. That's this line on this our crotch. So almost 2.5. You're going to insert that at the top of this part here. Sorry, here. So, and on this same line, because this is the mark of where my front, the line of my front panel. So now you're going to add that 2.5 at the back, just to give you that room at the back of your pant. So after that, you're going to connect it down and blend it into your front to the end, because this is where my the front, if you see, this is my front panel here. So now you're just going to blend it this way. And then the next thing you're going to do now is just go ahead and on this part, you're going to be adding 2 inches on this edge here. So I'm going to add 2 inches all the way down. This time we're adding our seam allowances. So I'm just going to add that here and then just blend it in this way. And then now my back panel is ready. So now what you have to do is just to go ahead and follow this line here, cut this out up here, follow this way, cut it down, following this side here. There's no seam allowance on this side, it's still going to be the same. The only seam allowance is at this part here and then at the back here. So guys, I'm going to, now that I've cut out my back panel, all I have to do now is only for the front, I'm just going to come down by 1/2 inch here, and then I'm going to just blend it into the edge of this pant here. So I'm just going to blend this 1/2 inch in this way, just mark it to blend it into this line, just like this. So now I'm going to just cut this whole thing off, but as you can see, I didn't reach to the edge of the seam. Just blend it in this way for the front of the pant. I'm going to cut it out now. So guys, now all I have to do is just to go ahead and join the 2 front and then the 2 back together. Then we'll trace out. I finished my pant. This is I went ahead. So you're going to join the 2 front and then the 2 back patterns together. And then if you want to put a pocket, I've already inserted a video on how to put in pockets. Because my fabric is not enough, so I couldn't put in a pocket. And I'm XL. So I used about 1.5 yards for this, which was not enough to even add pocket. So you have to use about 2 yards. So now this here, how you're going to attach the band, you just have to cut about 4 inches of width and just long enough to go around your pant, or depending on the size of elastic you're using. I'm using about 1 inch elastic, so you can make yours 3.5 of width instead of making it 4 inches if you're using the same 1 inch elastic. All you have to do is go first, join this round all the way, and then after joining it round all the way, you flip it over with this one and then just sew it down. That's how you're going to attach it. And then when you're done, you make an opening and pass your elastic. So that's basically how I did it, and then finish the pant. So this is what it looks like right now. So that's basically it. And because my elastic is slack inside of this here, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull it so that the elastic will not be moving round and round. What I'm going to do is just go to the sewing machine, pull it straight like this and sew down the elastic. Just pull it pull it like this and just sew the elastic down all the way around. So that's what I'm going to do now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.